The old house on Blackwood Path had forever been a subject of dread and interest in the humble community of Millfield. Its dim, rotting veneer lingered over the road, projecting long, scary shadows. Many guaranteed it was spooky, yet few thought for even a second to wander sufficiently close to find out. The Johnson family, new to the town, excused the tales as simple notion and chose to move in. "It's simply an old house," Mr. Johnson guaranteed his significant other, Sarah, and their 2 kids, Emily and Jake. "We'll set it up and make it a home." From the second they ventured inside, a virus chill settled over them. The air was smelly, and the sections of flooring squeaked unfavorably. The house appeared to moan, as though it were alive and mindful of their presence. "Mother, I could do without it here," Emily murmured, grasping her mom's hand. "It's simply unique, darling. We'll become acclimated to it," Sarah answered, however she was unable to shake the sensation of being watched. The initial not many evenings were ordinary, yet weird things started to occur. Entryways would close all alone, murmurs reverberated through the corridors, and dim shadows bounced at the edge of their vision. One evening, as Sarah was unloading in the upper room, she found an old, dusty journal concealed in a corner. The pages were yellowed and fragile, loaded up with the wild-eyed scribbling of the past proprietor, Abigail Blackwood. "She lived here quite a while back," Sarah said, perusing out loud. "It says she was tortured by spirits and at last went distraught." Mr. Johnson sneered. "It's simply a story. Nothing remains to be stressed over." Be that as it may, the journal's admonitions developed more vile with each page. Abigail expounded on a malicious substance that occupied the house, taking care of dread and depression. The element would mirror the voices of friends and family, driving its casualties to franticness. That evening, as they plunked down for supper, Jake heard a weak murmur. "Jake, come play with us," it said, in Emily's voice. However, Emily was sitting right adjacent to him, her face pale and scared. "Father, did you hear that?" Jake asked, his voice shaking. "Hear what?" "Mr. Johnson answered, his eyes dashing anxiously around the room. The murmurs developed stronger, filling the house with a clamor of voices. "Leave this spot," they murmured. "You won't ever get away." Alarm set in as the house appeared to wake up. The walls drained a dull, gooey fluid, and the air developed thick with the odor of rot. The shadows in the corners protracted, contorting into unusual shapes that squirmed and went after the family. "We need to leave," Sarah shouted, snatching Emily and Jake. They ran for the front entryway, however it closed with a power that shook the house. The windows broke, and the planks of flooring clasped underneath them. The malicious element, a twirling mass of obscurity, emerged before them, its eyes gleaming with malignance. "You can't leave," it snarled. "This is your home at this point." Mr. Johnson charged at the substance, however it smacked him away like a cloth doll. He hit the stopping point with a nauseating crash and folded to the floor, oblivious. Sarah grasped her youngsters, her brain hustling for an exit plan. "Kindly, let us go," she asked, distress streaming her face. The substance chuckled, a chilling sound that reverberated through the house. "You have a place with me." In a frantic demonstration, Sarah got the journal and started to peruse out loud from Abigail's last passage. The words appeared to consume her tongue, however she kept, expecting a salvation of some sort. "The best way to exile it," she read, "is to stand up to it with the reality of its own creation." She confronted the substance, her voice consistent regardless of her apprehension. "You were made by the agony and enduring of this house. In any case, we are not apprehensive. We are not your casualties." The element yelled, its structure faltering. The walls shuddered, and the house moaned as though in distress. With a last, stunning thunder, the element dispersed, abandoning a frightful quiet. The front entryway squeaked open, and the Johnson family staggered outside, panting for natural air. They glanced back at the house, its exterior currently disintegrating in dead. "We're rarely returning here," Mr. Johnson said, his voice shaking. They left Millfield that evening, never to return. The house on Blackwood Path stood deserted, a dull sign of the detestations inside. What's more, at an ungodly hour, those daring to the point of passing by might in any case hear the weak murmurs of the malignant substance, caught however never genuinely gone.